Last chance to score some points before the Kentucky Derby. Lexington. Here we are. Lexington full field rundown.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Trust the Profits. It is the formula here. We are talking about the Lexington Stakes. Last chance kitchen for a lot of these horses to score some points before the Derby. Possibly squeak their way in if they want to, if that's the goal here. Sometimes you see horses get into Lexington, they move on to Preakness. Sometimes it's Belmont, sometimes it's the Kentucky Derby. You see various results here. It's always interesting to see who wants to get their horse in last year and see if they can move into that field of 20. What does that field of 20 look like? Boom, here we go. Wow, field of 10. Field of 10 looking to get into the field of 20. Pardon the correction there. Lexington Stakes, April 13th, 2024. That is this Saturday at Keeneland. The purse is $400,000. For the Silks owners, $4,250. Pretty darn good here. We got four Silks owners here. Wine Stewart, Footprint, How's Your Attitude, and Liberal Arts. A couple of those horses have a really good chance at the win here. So congratulations to those owners. Must be exciting getting ready for the Lexington Stakes. I know it's exciting for me. I always think this is an interesting race. You get to see some horses, on the edge of the Derby, looking to get that last chance in. This year, especially, I think the field is better than usual. So I for one think it's going to be a good one. What has happened in the past? Someone was critical of me in the comment section about the past, but to be honest, I think it tells a lot about the future, right? It's not the same horses. I realize that, but certain horses, certain trainers have different paths to get to the Derby, and at certain paths you start to see being used throughout all these stakes races. First Mission, didn't see him in the Derby last year. Tawny Port, we did. King Fury, I believe we did as well. A lot of what you see here, you got a lot of third place horses here from Preakness, so it's been a big track for there. Divining Rod, Senior Investment, Owendale, number of other horses were shown in the Preakness, and you got Mr. Speaker here, first place in the Belmont Stakes. So while it's not the Bluegrass, it has some pretty interesting results here for the winners. Yeah. Anyway, let's get moving on. Let's talk about the horses of this weekend. Let us start with Secret Chat. Not a horse that I've talked about yet. Secret Chat. Three races, a first and 2 seconds. Pretty darn good for Secret Chat. But in those races, shaky, shaky. Um, not the high level races you would expect here. So second place at a 59K allowance optional claimer, 6 furlongs in that one, losing by 2.5 lengths to Big Effect in that one after a slow start. So who knows? You get a proper start out of Secret Chat, maybe ends up winning that race. Second place in the 1 mile Aventura Stakes, sitting off the pace in that one, closing to half a length off of the gate to wire winner Divieto in that one. So very close to having a nice little close there. This is a bit of a closer. Has yet to run this distance, but due to his style, this could be the right target for Secret Chat. And Joel Rosario on the mount here, definitely an upgrade in jockey for Secret Chat. Oh, the wine steward.
Maybe some strawberry. Oh, there's just a flutter of like a nutty Edam cheese.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. Oh, you definitely get a little bit of the Edam cheese in this one, and a whole bunch of orange and strawberry. That's right, the wine steward. Gotta love the name, gotta love the horse. 3 wins and 1 second place for the wine steward. This is a horse that we've been talking about from the beginning. I mean, we've been talking about this horse since last year. Last time out, second place at the Claiborne Futurity to Lockton. That one only half a length off. And before that, this is a horse that wasn't losing. Winner of the Funny Side Stakes, going 6 furlongs in that one. Winner to the Bashford Manor Stakes. Broke his maiden the first time out. Michael Maker horse, Luis Saez on the mount. I mean, this is a horse that a lot of us had in our top 10 for a while until he just stopped doing anything, until he was taken off the trail momentarily. But now he's back on the trail. Training looks really good for this horse. The problem is, has he been off for too long? That's the question on everyone's mind. So this is a pretty good spot for him. He doesn't have to face fierceness, doesn't have to face Muth, doesn't have to face Sierra Leone. faces a slightly smaller competition, one that he can possibly beat. So let's see what happens here with the Wine Steward. I mean, like I said, this is a horse that a lot of people had their eye on in November and October. So it's good to see him back, and we're hoping the best for the Wine Steward. Steward, hard D's. Dilger, no clue. Broke his maiden fourth time out at Gulfstream, 89K 1 mile, maiden special weight. Moving his way up to first by the stretch, winning by a nose over Secret Crush. Previous to that, definitely did not look like he was Derby related, let's say. This is a Saffy Joseph Jr. horse. This is a horse that's been racing in Gulfstream. Tyler Gaffleone on the mount on this horse. Those first three outings doesn't make it look like he has a chance in a race at this level. He is definitely stepping up. Saffy, really good in Gulfstream, moving up to Keeneland. Sometimes, sometimes he's had some struggles there. Sometimes he's had struggles shipping out of Gulfstream in general. So I am not high on Dilger. All apologies. Footprint. Footprint is kind of an interesting horse here. This is a horse that the last time I previewed him was for the Gunrunner Stakes way back. Got fourth place there, 8 lengths off a track. Phantom in that one. Closing out from seventh, didn't make it into the money. Um, Respectable, but had a ways to go. And it was only the Gunrunner. Only the Gunrunner. At the time, the Gunrunner was a whole bunch of fun, but now we're going through all these G1s, G2s, G3s, and he's been stashed away in allowance optional claimers, blacklist stakes races. Last time out, second at the Rushway Stakes at Turfway. Not too shabby, 8.5 furlongs. Close to the pace, losing by a neck to Tricari in that one. Very close to a winner, so a very good showing by Footprint. Third place in 150K allowance optional claimer at Oak Lawn, 8.5 furlongs. So he's going the distance, or at least close to the distance. Closing from sixth place in that one. Close but no cigar. Sees the gray, Maximus Magic in that one. Uh, Ken McPeak putting him here because he thinks he's got a chance with this one. When you look at the in the money percentage, it's pretty good. Is he ready for the graded stakes? Is this going to be his level? Maybe 80s. Yeah, 3 wins in 4 races until the last race, until the Florida Derby, getting bumped at the start, never really finding his track. This was an undefeated horse. This is a horse that going into the Holy Bull, I was a little bit surprised to see winning, beating Fierceness. Ooh, that came out of nowhere. He'd run an allowance race before that. Ran his maiden, won his maiden the first time out. Um, Paco Lopez in the mount, all 4 races, I believe. And yeah, the Florida Derby, thinking, okay, well, he beat Fierceness once before. He should at least be in the money. Fifth place finish. Had some troubles there. So this is a real rebound race for Hades. That must be what his owner's thinking. That's probably what his trainer's thinking. One more chance to score some points, get into the Derby because he feels like he's got a real horse here. Jose Ortiz on the mount. Curious to see what happens here. Hades, very interesting play here. How's your attitude? How's your attitude? How's your attitude? Whew, Turfway horse. 1 win in 2 third places. Broke his maiden on his third try. 2 third place showings before that. Going 1 mile on Tapita, of course. He's a Turfway. Closing from mid pack to beat Ask Arthur by half a length. How's your attitude to curious placement here? Having just broke his maiden recently. There's horses I like better. Ever do it. Ever do it. 8 races, 2 wins, a second and a third. Third at the Ocala Breeders, sitting off the pace in that one, not of the pace. There's always a spelling check. And closing wow, from third. Uh, Closing for third, 2.25 lengths behind Pure Class in that one. That should be third, as y'all imagine. Eighth place at the Tampa Bay Derby. Yeah, we were starting to cross him off at that one. Gave him a little bit of consideration because he lost his rider in the Sam Davis. I thought, okay, well, maybe it gets a real showing. Tampa Day looked like a real stinker. Sixth place at the Mucho Macho. Yeah, I've crossed this horse off in this level of racing for a while. He's had a couple of good showings since then. Nothing to the graded stakes level, obviously. Third place at the Ocala Breeders. He's won an allowance race, I think, in between there too. But I just haven't seen enough from Ever Do It to say he's at this class. Encino. This is a horse that we were hoping to see a weekend ago. Didn't. Hoping to see this weekend. So, at Turfway, 3 races, 2 wins, and 1 second. He was the winner of the Battaglia, beating Epic Ride by a length in that one. Broke his maiden second time out, going gate to wire. Another Spelltagger. Got to check these. Second time out, going gate to wire. 8.5 furlongs. Maiden special weight on Tapita, beating Freddie Mac by half a length in that one. Brad Cox, Trinfan on the mount. This is going to be he puts Flojo on the mount there. He's getting serious about a horse. Let's just put it that way. And Brad Cox, as you saw from my second or third slide, has had some pretty good showings here recently. Won the last two Lexington Stakes. So is he going to make it a third? Libarts. So 7 races, 6 of them finishing in the money, but not the last one. So there you go. 8th place at the Arkansas Derby. Yeah, 8th place after a DQ from 6th down to 8, adding insult to injury. Was 9th for most of the race, only improved to 6. And this is a horse that has been a deep closer, not a Sierra Leone level deep closer, but probably that next level. Um, 10 lengths back of Muth in that one, not the best showing for Liberal Arts. He's raced a lot of these in the slop. Third at the Southwest Stakes in the slop, 8th or 9th place back, closing to third in that one, still 9 lengths behind Mystic Dan in that one. Winner of the Street Sense, closing from 5th on a wet track, winning by 2 3/4 over Moonlight. And at the Iroquois, he was in 3rd place behind West Saratoga in that one, but he's got Irad Ortiz on the mount here. Will that make a difference for Liberal Arts? Lucky Jeremy. So 2 wins in 5 races for Lucky Jeremy, finishing 5th at the Jeff Ruby Stakes in a pack of 5 horses that was you could have been second, you could have been 5th, and you were all 4 lengths back of Endlessly. Yeah, so he could have been easily second in that one, but still quite a bit off of Endlessly in the Jeff Ruby Stakes, finishing third at the Sunland Park Derby, setting the pace, yielding to Stronghold, finishing 2.5 lengths back in that one, and just ahead behind second place. So finishing behind 2 really good horses, lengths off, yes, but 2 really good horses in Endlessly and Stronghold. I hold Stronghold in pretty high regard on the Derby Trail, as I might add. Did win the Riley Allison Derby going a mile on that one, sitting off the pace and closing to take the lead. 2 lengths over a lot of luck on that one. Where are we at? We're at the end. My safe pick here is Hades, and I'll tell you for why. So I really like the Wine Stewart, but it's the layoff that scares me. And I see Hades as being a bounce back play here. All 4 of my horses here that I've got in the box are also the top 4 in terms of money line. I think on Encino, you get something like 5-1 or 6-1. So I've got Encino as my value play here. Went back and forth on footprint a few times, but I mean, who do you cross off for footprint? I don't think I can cross off Hades. Hades just won way too much, and he's got a bounce back play here. Don't think I can cross off the Wine Steward because I think all in all, he is the best horse in this race. He's just not fresh, or maybe a little too fresh. Liberal Arts, deep closer, always there. And then Encino, Brad Cox throwing his horse in the ring here. Brad Cox always has a good feel for Lexington. Keeneland in general, Brad Cox has a good feel for. So he's going to cross out for footprint. I can't cross out any of the 4. So I got Hades being the key, the Wine Steward, Liberal Arts, and Encino as my top 4. So there you have it. Wow. Wow. Can't believe it. In about 3 weeks, we're going to be at the Derby. We got a lot of content that we're going to be putting out for you guys. Fact or fiction, I'm going to put out a bunch of those. We're going to have discussions once we know who the Derby entries are and they get all official and whatnot. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with this as we always do. So please hit that subscribe button. Get to know us better. Get to know what we're doing here in preparation for the Kentucky Derby and the whole Triple Crown. Yeah, hit that like. Give us some love. See ya. Come on now.